Hey guys, first of all, I would just like to say thank you for being so patient as I'm working my way through the New Game Plus long play video of Tomb Raider 3. As you can imagine, it's a very long project, but the good news is I've beaten it on PS4, on PS5, and I'm kind of playing the Steam and GOG version simultaneously to practice those levels really well, and there I made it halfway across the game that I have footage for. So I am still working on the video, it's taking ages, and it's probably gonna be somewhere between 8 to 10 hours long, so you can imagine this is gonna take forever. But once that is out, we are finally gonna be able to start working our way through the Lost Artifact expansion, which I consider to be the best classic levels of the core era Tomb Raiders in existence. But today I wanted to, take a little break and just dip our toes into Tomb Raider 4 Remastered, and there's no better way to do it than just playing through the Times exclusive level. And I just really wanted to release a separate video as I'm working on that long, huge-ass video, okay? Just to know that I'm thinking about you guys, I haven't forgotten, and I'm working my butt off to bring us to the next game as soon as possible, alright? So, enjoy today's very cozy episode. I hope you'll have time, perhaps even for the first time experiencing the Times exclusive level, but definitely for the first time in the remastered treatment.
The initial discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb. And?
This is Howard Carter's original exclusive. But yesterday morning, from our Egyptian correspondent, we received this.
Tutankhamun's tomb. New tunnels. I see. I've stayed in bed for less.
Our man stumbled across this new dig site. After we received the information, news reached us that he'd been found fever-ridden, hiding nearby, ranting about a new tomb.
Now you're getting interesting. Whose tomb?
Well, this is why we've called you.
I'll see you around.
Wait, you'll get nowhere without Carter's original information. He was the first to discover Tutankhamun's tomb and reported exclusively to us. His original chamber layouts and notes lie in the relevant issues in our archive room, invaluable to the Tomb Raider.
Quite. And where are these archives? Time to finish what Carter started.
So guys, hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 4 The Last Revelation. So guys, 115 speaking, and today we'll be dipping our toes into this game via the Times exclusive level. We are gonna get our hands on all 20 goodies. We are gonna land 14 kills out of, I guess we could say 20 enemies overall. There are gonna be 6 unkillable ones. We are also gonna break 18 objects, however only 14 of these are gonna be vessels to be broken, and presumably none of these are gonna count because currently, just post-launch, the vessels broken count does not work for the Times exclusive level, which is just an absolute bummer. We are also gonna get our hands on this level's 2 secrets at least, unlocking the Codex of Tutankhamun achievement, and the other achievement being time to finish what Carter started for finishing the level. And you know what? I feel like I haven't really deserved to be here since we haven't yet tackled the Lost Artifact expansion, which I'm gonna get to straight afterwards, but I'm just excited to see this new menu and sort of play with all the tools we have at our disposal. Just a brief look through the options. This is kind of the audio mixing I recommend. Music is way louder than any kind of sound effects, so I recommend lowering it as opposed to the SFX volume. I have the subtitles enabled, of course, as you could have seen in the intro, and of course I'm a fan of the original tank controls that I'm very comfortable with, that I think are perfect for these kinds of games. So this is my control scheme, essentially. You can, check it out, depending on your own keyboard layout, change it. If you're using a controller, I'm not going to be much help there, but when it comes to the shortcuts, these are the ones we will be using on the keyboard. Now, other thing I just want to show you, whenever I'll be switching to the original graphics, I'm gonna lift the 30 FPS toggle, because this is something I really wished for 1.2.3 Remastered, to just remove the stupid 30 FPS toggle. There was absolutely no need to have it, and they at least listened as far as Tomb Raider 4 and 5 is concerned. We'll see if they'll re-enable it to the previous trilogy. And pickup highlights, this is a point of pride for me, but I want to find all pickups without being artificially highlighted. That's my job here. And of course you can see the rest of the settings here. Ammo counter, we are definitely using quick saves. For the time being, no, I want to open a menu each time, and I also want to play without any action indicators, but with both health bars, which is a feature we are not really going to be seeing in today's level, okay? When it comes to the outfits, however, I'm kind of toying with the idea of switching to either the classic or FMV one. Now, I'll be honest, I much prefer the classic outfit. The FMV one is, kind of like the name says, supposed to essentially change the colors, and maybe it's better to show you here, to what we see Lara have in the FMVs, including her hairstyle change. Her boots are suddenly black, but I don't know, I just much prefer the brown ones, although Lara is a bit sexed up in the classic one. It's almost like she doesn't wear a t-shirt but a leotard underneath it, so, I mean, take your pick. It's a bit funny when you look at it like this. But yeah, I'm kind of toying with the idea of using the FMV one for the main game and sticking to the classic one in the Times exclusive level. We'll see. But what you can do also from the get-go is essentially just enable the sunglasses, which is awesome, but that's not something I'm gonna put Lara through when she's in a dark tomb. And other than that, we start with 1 large, 3 small medpacks, 3 flares, our trusty pistols, and binoculars, which I absolutely love, and you guys probably remember that if you've seen my original LP, because it would absolutely illuminate all dark corridors. The problem with that here in the remastered version is, look, nothing where I'm aiming at, only the surrounding ones, only very briefly, and this damn thing just doesn't work here, and I really hope they'll fix this, because this was an amazing tool in the past. There is in the distance a bit of an orb of light going on, but the damn thing just doesn't work, and occasionally it makes brighter areas darker. What's up with that? Oh, the lighting in general really needs to be fixed. And like I said at the time of me recording this, we are in sort of the pre-patch version of the game. So, let me switch to classic, no sunglasses, and let's finally play. So, we have been on a bit of a slide, but you would miss out on a secret not exploring your surroundings. And by the way, the music that's been used for the introductory slide is a bit from the main game FMV intro, when Lara and Ahmed discover the entrance into the Tomb of Seth, which I think is pretty damn funny, that they kind of reuse that. Now, Lara is officially on a mission to figure out whose tomb it is. And I'm sorry to say, we're not really gonna get an answer to that. We're gonna find what looks like a Tutankhamun's mask, but we already know this is Tutankhamun's tomb, and the editor from the Times magazine mentioned someone else, but that's not really the case. Now, mind you, each time you pick up a new weapon, it comes preloaded with, usually, there are a few exceptions, a single ammunition pickup. So the shotgun came preloaded with 6 normal shotgun ammo shots, because that's what each pickup will yield. We also picked up a box of wide shot shotgun shells, again 6 rather than 2 in the previous games. Honestly guys, from my testing so far, wide shot ammunition is exactly as useless as it was in the original. I still do not understand the idea behind its existence. Really, in any game I ever played, you upgrade your shotguns to decrease their spread to be more accurate and to make sure that more pellets hit your target. And here the wide shot ammo does the exact opposite. It spreads around more, and as a result, you're gonna end up dealing less damage to moving targets. So only use wide shot ammo when you run out of the good shotgun ammo, okay? So let's keep that in mind. But I'm also going to use pistols in this level. Anywho, let's get back. So, by the way, you probably already seen the compass in the screen. If you are facing north perfectly, which you can align yourself while climbing into blocks, you can also trigger a couple of cheats, like level skip or all guns and that sort of thing. I'm not going to be doing that, but it also doubles as a secret counter for the level you are currently in, which is awesome because the stat screen only shows you secrets for the entire run. And if you boot up the main game, you would see how many secrets you found out of the overall 70. This is a bummer because it's also showing the stats for the whole game as far as pickups and enemies are concerned as well. Still an upgrade over the original, which didn't track these at all, but still not quite what I would have wanted. So there we go. Anywho, let's finally delve into the tomb now that I have these beginning explanations ready. We are going to be surrounded by a couple of scorpions. Now I'd love to switch to the original graphics here and find a spot where we can bring all the scorpions into light, and I of course want to take a picture of every single new enemy we encounter. And look, we might get 3 for our buck here. Okay, Lara, you best use your weapons, and I kind of want to just roll this thing and take a picture in both the original and the remastered graphics. And now let's try not to get stung. It shouldn't be all too difficult. These guys are absolute pushovers. They're essentially the equivalent of rats in the previous games, okay? Now that should be it. And our reward for beating these tough adversaries is essentially... Wait. Do the flares not work in the remasters either? Are you kidding me? My god, guys, this really needs to be patched. Look what it does in the original, and it does absolutely nothing in the remasters. Oh, this is unacceptable. My goodness gracious. I haven't even realized this when I was just doing my playthrough, when making my first impressions review. Okay, let's make a jump here. We should also trigger traps safely. Okay. See, the flare worked in this corner, but not in that dark pit over there. So it seems there are some places where these work and others where it doesn't. And I don't understand why. What do you do when your lighting engine is way too dynamic? Anywho, let's get our hands on some new ammo. These should be Uzi clips, and I believe we are also going to find Uzis later on in the level. But almost all the ammo we're going to find for the shotgun is the wide shot, which is very unfortunate because I hate that damn thing. Honestly, the only thing it could be good for is maybe hitting flying bats in Tomb Raider 4, because they have a bit of an awkward flying pattern, but that's it. By the way, this tile over here is highlighted, and that is not a coincidence. We need to increase it or raise it to essentially continue the level. So, let's delve further. Oh, I want to show you something funny. You can absolutely shoot at these guys, these jackals, sets minions almost, and kind of see blood splatters coming from them. But unlike the jade statues in Tomb Raider 2, you can't really deal damage to them before they wake up this way. They're invincible despite the blood splatter, okay? Now what I'd absolutely love to do is first of all change Lara's pose. What a show off. You know what, let's absolutely do this. And I'm gonna take a picture of a very patient jackal who does not mind this nonsense. Ah, okay, the lighting conditions are good for the original as well. Again, every enemy we encounter I want to take a snapshot of, same just like I did in my previous trilogy. And my goodness, look at this place. You know, this would be perfect to use binoculars on. There it kind of seems to work, almost. But again, not there, but there. And now if we aim there, it makes the whole wall darker. What's going on with that? In the original, boom, everything illuminated, worked perfectly. Such a bummer they messed this up. Anywho, here's waiting for a fix. Now, we can either continue, or we can get our hands on a couple of goodies. Is the flare gonna do anything? Okay, it seems to work in this corner at least. So let's get our hands on the large medpack. I do love the new medpack design, by the way. It does make them feel very bulky. Again, more white shot, which is unfortunate. And yeah, this is in fact part of a secret. So you kind of need to time your shot just right to break it like that. Ooh, the pickup flare animation is much faster than the previous trilogy. To be fair, that's not a credit to the remasters. This was the case, I think, in the original Tomb Raider 4 and 5, but still happy to see it here, preserved. Small medpack and another ammunition type, which is gonna betray what kind of weapon we are gonna find. The normal crossbow bolts. which are perfect, honestly, just for precise targeting of a few high-profile targets. Now, with both of these lion heads destroyed, which I'm absolutely counting as breakable objects, you know I will, which, by the way, is not counted by the game amongst the vessels broken, which, to be fair, it's fair, because they're not really vessels. You will have opened up this little trapdoor over here, and you can now make it behind the giant statue of Horus and get your hands on the second secret, which should net us the Codex of Tutankhamun achievement. So let's see the first achievement of the 456 trilogy pop up. There we go. Collect all secrets in the Times exclusive level. Another flare, please. Okay. Okay, so in most areas the flares seem to work. Awesome. We got our hands on the crossbow. It should have come preloaded with 10 normal crossbow bolts, which is correct, because we picked up a 10 normal before. And as you can see, there'll be explosive ammo and poison ammo. In this level, we are not going to get our hands on explosive ammo, but we are going to get our hands on poison ammo. And I think it's just around here. Perfect. So, I'm going to equip the poison ammo, and I'm actually going to use it on, honestly, only worthwhile target later on. And that's gonna be crocodiles, because those guys are bullet sponges, and that's where poison can come in handy. It's a bit of a weird mechanic. Okay, now, honestly, the way out of here to continue the level is way more secret than the secret itself. Did you know you can move this giant urn? Okay, the floor texture betrays it somewhat, and I guess it was pretty obvious even in the original, but you need to move this thing onto this symbol. Then we're gonna get a cutscene, which is vicious, because it's gonna make us just a sitting duck and vulnerable. Oh, there they are waking up, those bastards. Miss Croft, do get your shotgun ready, pretty please. God, this level's gorgeous. Next. Nice, not a single pellet wasted. You know you're using the good shotgun ammo. The normal one, not the white shot nonsense. Okay, there should be more around the corner. Let's time it just right, so we don't get bitten, but also don't waste ammo. Whoa. Ooh, okay, we're killing it, Lara. Very good. Oh, another one? I did not remember that at all. But yeah, actually, that should be 2 and 3, which corresponds with my notes from, what was it, 2023? Not that long ago when I covered this level in the original version. So let us enter the crawl space. And of course we have crawl somersaulting, which was not the case in the original. And you know what this means. You absolutely do. These guys are gonna wake up, of course. And you know what? I would very much like to take a screenshot. Okay, that didn't work out. I'm gonna do a much better job with the photo mode. Look, it's still illuminated via a flare. That's pretty awesome. Yeah, just a classic shot, like something from a haunted house set. In the original, the mummies always looked like they were pirates, and then they had an eye patch. But I can clearly see it's a bandage. But I really do like the touch-up they did for these guys. And guys, if you do decide to shotgun the mummies, you can occasionally knock them down to the floor. You know what? Since we don't care about white shot ammo, let's do it. Yes! Oh, so lucky. So this doesn't help much because they'll just pick themselves up immediately and continue. And most of the time it's just gonna do that. Just stumble a little, not really knock him out, but occasionally it will. The only way to bring these guys down is explosive weapons, and there's gonna be none of that in this level, which is such a bummer. Anywho, now I would like to destroy these, and let's check the broken vessels counter. Yep. Nothing, absolutely nothing. By the way, the vessels have a story to tell, and this is going to be relevant to the burial chambers level in the main game, which is coincidentally the first place where we encounter these, because it shows one of the key items, the winged scarab, we are going to pick up in that level, but I'll talk more about it in the main game once we tackle it. By the way, a cool addition in the remasters, the shards from the broken ways fall underwater. I just find that really cool. This was not the case in the original. Now, what I would like to do very much... Okay, we have the poison. Let's equip it. Oh, I did not expect a cutscene here. That took me off guard a little. Okay, you are poisoned, sir. Now, the way poison works in the last revelation is interesting, to say the least. See, the poison itself will never kill the enemy. However, it will bring them down to the lowest possible unit of HP if you are patient enough. So if you first poison an enemy and then are happy to wait, you will bring them down with a single shot of anything. Even pistols would have done the job. Now, I would very much like to poison another one. Okay, this is a little bit scary. Oh my god, if you see blood splatter, you succeeded, although that could have been Lara's, absolutely. And I want to show you that if we wait long enough, we can kill this guy off even with a single shot of pistols. Now, it usually takes somewhere between 10 to 15 seconds of waiting before it makes sense, but of course you can start firing immediately and bring it down faster, right? But I'm doing this as a little bit of a lab experiment. There we go. See, so this is exactly how poison works in the last revelation. Is it all that useful? Not really. One thing you never ever have to worry about in the last revelation is ammo. There's so much of it. You can pretty much, from the point you find a shotgun, just use it and no other weapon and you'll be fine. However, that might be a different story for New Game Plus. Anywho, we poisoned this guy. Let's pick up a revolver. Now this, my friends, in case you haven't played the game yet but played the previous ones, is the Desert Eagle, essentially. It has the same sound effect, same power, and it's just an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful weapon, made even more beautiful via the remastered treatment. But I'm gonna save it for later, and I would very much like to finish this crocodile off with a normal poison bolt. Normal crossbow bolt, not the poison one. Okay, seems that was a sufficient amount of time. Now there should be a fourth crocodile in this giant lake with a boat, supposed to, I guess, carry Tutankhamun to afterlife via the river Dumat. But... It probably did its job well, because Tutankhamun's not a walking zombie or mummy in this level, so that always helps. And there should be one more. Oh, there he is. Now, the cool thing is the crocodiles can seamlessly transition between water and, you know, solid surface. This is something they were not able to pull off in the, for example, coastal village level of Tomb Raider 3. So I'm actually really happy to see this kind of improvement that makes them more threatening. Let's poison the bastard. Good, we see blood splatter, that's all the acknowledgement I need. And now if we wait to 10 and 15 seconds, we can bring the guy down with a normal dart, but you know what, I'm probably just gonna unload with our pistols. Oh wow, that was quicker than I thought, pretty damn cool. And let's make it onto the other shore, where there's an interesting gate surrounded by obelisks, almost a portal, but the whole thing is an object you cannot really pass or walk through, okay? Yeah, it is just what it is. By the way, you can absolutely admire the boat using camera angle. The photo mode from any kind of camera angle. And again, I do appreciate the remastered touch-up on this thing. Oh man, they outdid themselves. This is gorgeous. I have heard rumors that are a bit concerning that the visual touch-ups for Last Revelation aren't really finished yet, and that anything past the Alexandria chapter of the normal game is gonna look... Oh my god, in this corridor the flares don't work again, wonderful. But anything past the Alexandria did not receive the touch-ups that the devs wanted to give the game. But up to Alexandria it seems to be finished, we'll see. But again, the game should not have released in that state. Now, we need to be a bit careful and methodical about which vessels to break, and again, the counter... Nope, doesn't work at all. Cool thing is, we have found laser sight. Yay! Which is absolutely awesome. Now, laser sight is interesting. You can essentially pick a weapon to combine it with. It's either the crossbow or the revolver. The unfortunate thing is, in the original at least, even if you find two laser sights, you cannot equip two laser sights on both revolver and crossbow. You will only carry one and constantly will have to switch, and if you so choose, separate, okay? So that's just one bummer. I was hoping the remasters would improve, and that hasn't been the case from what I've seen so far, but maybe I am wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Okay, I'm just trying to break the ones which don't have the death beetles in them. More revolver ammo. So, you know what? I'm gonna do this. Climb here. Be careful, you can absolutely catch fire if you're too close to those damn things. Alrighty then. More goodies. There should have been an achievement for breaking all vessels in the Times exclusive level, but alas, no such luck. And that's it, only two more vessels. So these You can also purposefully ignore if you so decide. For example, you can absolutely move this thing out of the way and continue, but you know, leaving a breakable object alone, that's just not my style, even if it's gonna cause our demise. So, what I'm gonna do... Oh my god, we're in a bit of a pickle here. Okay, made it around it, perfect. See, you don't need to destroy it. But if you do, there they are, the death beetles. Now, technically a new enemy type, so I'm absolutely gonna take a picture of these guys. Uh-oh. Lara, if I give you a flare now, is it gonna illuminate? No, it illuminates absolutely nothing. You know what? Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna find a better spot to do this in. I did not take a picture of the crocodiles. My god, what a bummer. Now, the cool thing is about the death beetles is that these gratings will make them fall down through them. And I think there should be another one over on that side, right? Perfect. But they do get stuck on the corners a lot. And by the way, in my original 2021 Let's Play, I did not consider the beetles killable enemies, but I did still consider every single swarm an enemy. And I'm thinking maybe that made the in-game stats I provided a bit too confusing. So I think for the remastered run, I'm not really gonna do that. I'm just gonna remove them from the enemy equation altogether and consider them, I don't know, temporary hazards like swarms of locusts, even though these guys do have permanence, so I feel like I shouldn't. Oh yeah, scorpion inside this one. Awesome. Okay, more flares that are, I guess, useless in the remastered version of the game. Yay, wonderful. And now, a large sand pit with, I think, only 2, not 4 lion heads. You know what that means, you absolutely do. But I would very much like to just check out the sand pit from down here. Nothing? Okay. Well then, from down here, I am gonna break these things, and you can absolutely zoom in and out using sprint and duck keys. Ooh, only 1, that's all it takes to trigger it? Okay, I thought you need to break both of them. Doesn't really even speed things up, but hey, it is a breakable object, that's what I'm gonna do. And now, of course, there's the mummies. If we headshot these guys... Yeah, not much has happened. Am I even hitting them yet? They just don't even care. However, if you use a more powerful weaponry, of course, like the shotgun, you could have seen the knockback, but even a revolver knocks them down, which is cool, but it's an absolute waste of a good revolver ammo. Don't do that. Or do if that's what scratches your itch. There should be another one. Whoa, let's dodge it. Wonderful. By the way, I think these things can knock the mummies down. Oh, they weren't in its trajectory. Last time I played for my first impressions review, they were knocked down by these things, which I thought is a cool detail. And once we make it here, the door closes, we are safe from the mummies. If you take too much time, the mummies will of course follow you here, which would be unfortunate. Is this thing a movable object now? Nope, not this one, because it doesn't have the floor markings. Oh, that's fair enough. Now this should look very familiar from the flyby menu. From the main menu, you could see that Lara picked up a golden skull here. Here, we have something far more interesting. A golden mask, not to be confused with a golden mask expansion of Tomb Raider 2, so there it is, the gold mask. In the original, would you believe me if I said this was a disembodied head or one of the enemies we are gonna find? Yep, one of Cleopatra's guardians. Here, they turned it into a key item, which is cool. So this is, I guess, what the Times editor sent Lara for, to explore these tunnels and figure out whose tomb it is. But unfortunately, guys, this mask doesn't tell us anything. We still don't know whose tomb this is, which is just such a bummer. Okay, let's go on. Let me light up a flare just to test what places it works in, but even where it works, it's just really not much to write home about in terms of illumination. But anywho. Oh look, more beetle swarms. Now this is bright enough for me to take picture in the originals too, right? Okay, I would very much like to put Lara in a shocked expression. I feel like that's the least I can do. Let's do something about the pose. This is good. This is good. And now I want you screaming, Miss Croft. Sorry, but yeah. It's only fitting. The most terrifying enemy of Tomb Raider 4. Oh, which way am I facing now? I don't know. Ah! This is, I don't know, 3 or 4 swarms. Anywho, good thing is, on these sides over here, you have the grates, but the swarm is so vast that they're just gonna make it across over their own falling bodies on the other side. It's actually terrifying when you think about it. Especially if you've seen the banger 1990s movie called The Mummy. Who am I kidding? You absolutely have. You know, people often say, given my huge eye circles under my eyes, that I look like Benny from The Mummy. And I mean, they're not wrong. And whenever I see death beetles, I'm especially terrified. Oh, two of those buggers made it on our side, although they are taking their sweet time. And see, they're always more stuck around the corner, so you're gonna have to do this a couple of times to get rid of that. Now, you don't need to do it, but it just brings me pleasure to use the tools at our disposal to get rid of the enemies in any way we can. But again, I don't consider this a kill, because the beetles are actually perfectly safe down there in those pits. So it's like, yeah, they can just chill there. Oh. Will the flare help us see it more clearly? Yeah, to an extent. Awesome. So you need to jump and grab the handle, which is a new thing to TR4. Can be a bit confusing if you've played the previous games, which will teach you no, you need to activate some external mechanism to make it open. But that's not the case here. Oh, by the way, whenever you finish a level in The Last Revelation, there'll be no end stat screen. So we are kind of gonna have to look at our own here. And I just realized I haven't really saved the game, but first, let's see the stat screen. So my friends, this was the Times exclusive. We take another step. We are gonna unlock a time to finish what Carter started. And we have essentially beaten the level, taking all 20 pickups, landing what's 15 kills. Now that is interesting, because by my count, there should only have been 14 enemies. Very interesting. This has implications on what is or isn't considered a kill in this one. We also found this level's 2 secrets, and we have broken all 18 objects, 4 lion heads and 14 vessels, which unfortunately, because of a bug, do not yet count in the post-release version of TR4. So anyhow guys, I hope you enjoyed our brief dip into Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation, just so you'll know what to expect. I'm also gonna save the game here, absolutely, just so we have a memory of this playthrough, and I am gonna see you next time in the Lost Artifact expansion, and also Tomb Raider 3's New Game Plus long play video, but not before I thank my absolutely amazing patrons. Blangoopel, Mick, Severin Drax, Enstickle, KT Danger, Pooh the 2, and A. Brian. Thank you guys so much for being my loyal Winstons and for getting in touch with the Times, who sponsored us with a ticket to Egypt. Next, I would like to say big thanks to my caretaker Winstons, Michael McConkey, Karavetu, Renegade Durney, Blanket Fox, Jonathan Jones, and Tushir. Thank you guys so much for your support of the channel, and also for spraying Lara with a death beetle repellent. Without your help, she'd be devoured alive by those absolutely horrifying things. I would also like to give special thanks to my brave veteran Winstons, Andrea Paviglianiti, Alexander, and Richard Dearman. Thank you guys so much for your valiant support of the channel, and also for giving us a rundown of the different types of ammunition we'll find in Tomb Raider 4. This will be absolutely invaluable for the main game. And finally, I would like to give one very special thanks to my one and only fine vintage Winston, Akira Foxmind. Thank you so much for your long and generous support of the channel, and also thank you today for freezing all the mummies in place. This way, they had so many difficulties trying to keep up with Lara, and it was ridiculously easy to outrun them. Thanks to your help, Lara managed to reach her destination, pick up the golden mask, and be showered with fame and riches and glory. And on a final note, I'd like to say thanks to my free Patreon members as well as to you guys for watching. Thank you for sticking around. I do hope you found today's run through the Times exclusive level useful, despite the fact it just feels like yesterday since I covered the original version on my channel, and this was a very lovely break and refreshment from the behemoth that is the Tomb Raider 3 New Game Plus long play video. But the break is over, it's time for me to get back to work, so I'll see you next time when I release the New Game Plus long play for Tomb Raider 3, and after that we are gonna tackle the best classic Tomb Raider levels via the Lost Artifact expansion. Oh, I absolutely cannot wait, and until then, I wish you all happy raiding.